You have used it thousands of times, every single day of your life, and you have never once stopped to ask why it looks the way it does. Go to any bathroom in America right now and look inside the toilet bowl. It is almost half full of water, just sitting there, still, waiting. Now look at a toilet in Germany, or France, or Japan. The bowl is nearly dry, just a small shallow pool at the bottom. A completely different design, a completely different philosophy, same function, totally different solution. And the reason American toilets are built the way they are goes back almost 200 years to one of the deadliest and most terrifying public health disasters the modern world had ever seen. In the 1800s, cities were growing faster than anyone had planned for. London, Paris, New York, Philadelphia. People were pouring in from the countryside looking for work, and the cities were not ready for them. There was no proper sewage system. Waste went into cesspits under the ground. Those cesspits leaked into the soil. That soil touched the groundwater, and people drank the groundwater. Then the silent killer arrived. Cholera had reached the city. Cholera does not give you a warning. You feel fine in the morning. By afternoon, you are losing fluids faster than your body can replace them. By evening, people were dying in the streets. In the 1832 outbreak alone, New York City lost over 3,000 people in a single summer, and nobody at the time fully understood why. The leading theory was miasma, bad air. People believed the smell of filth caused disease. So they aired out their homes, they burned herbs, they held perfumed cloths to their faces. Unfortunately, none of it worked, no results. Then a British doctor named John Snow did something nobody had done before. He mapped the deaths, door by door, street by street, and he discovered that almost every single death was clustered around one water pump on Broad Street in London. It was not the air making people sick, it was the water. And that discovery changed everything about how cities thought about plumbing. Plumbers and engineers had a problem. Even when you build proper pipes and sewers, human waste still produces gases. Methane, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia. These gases travel back up through the pipes and into homes through the toilet bowl itself. You cannot see them, but you breathe them. And in a badly sealed building, they build up over time and they make people sick. The solution was something called the P-trap or the S-trap, a curved section of pipe built directly under the toilet bowl. The shape of the pipe holds a permanent plug of standing water, and that plug of water acts as a seal. The gases rise up through the sewer line. They hit the water. They stop. They cannot get through. They cannot get into your home. The water in your toilet is not decorative. It is not waste. It is a barrier, a silent, invisible wall between your lungs and the sewer system running right under your street. That is what the water is doing, every second of every day, even when nobody is home. Now here is where America made a specific choice that Europe and Asia did not. American toilet design pushed the water level higher and wider than almost any other country in the world. A typical American toilet bowl holds around 2 to 3 inches of standing water covering a wide surface area. The reason for this design is actually threefold. First, the deeper water creates a more powerful hydraulic seal. More water means a thicker barrier against sewer gases. In a country where older homes with aging pipe systems are extremely common, that extra margin of protection matters enormously. Second, the wider water surface reduces the chance of waste residue sticking to the sides of the bowl. Less residue means less bacterial growth between cleanings. American plumbing engineers in the 19th and early 20th century were obsessed with sanitation in a way that directly shaped the design choices baked into every toilet manufactured in the country. Third, and most practically, the deeper water pool means waste drops into water rather than landing on a dry surface. Less smell on contact, less splatter, less visible residue. American toilet design is not accidental. It is the result of a very specific set of decisions made by people who had watched their cities get destroyed by disease and who were not willing to cut corners when it came to water and waste. Europe took a different approach. The shelf toilet, or Flachspüler, which dominated Germany and parts of Northern Europe for most of the 20th century, had a dry shelf where waste would land before being flushed away. The idea was that the shelf allowed for visual inspection of health by the user. Doctors in some European traditions encouraged this. It was considered medically practical. The trade-off was obvious to anyone who has ever used one. The smell is immediate. The residue is visible. The cleaning requirement is higher. Most modern European toilets have moved away from the shelf design entirely, and the direction they have moved, closer to the American model, more water, deeper bowl, better seal. Japan went a completely different direction with electronic bidet technology that sidesteps the problem altogether and builds an entirely different kind of hygiene system around the act. But the baseline question of how much water should sit in a toilet bowl has a clear answer that the engineering world has largely agreed on. And that answer looks a lot like what American plumbers decided on over 100 years ago. So the next time you walk into a bathroom in America and glance into that bowl full of still water, know that you are not looking at excess. You are not looking at waste. You are looking at a A solution designed by engineers who lived through cholera outbreaks and watched entire neighborhoods die from invisible gases and contaminated groundwater. A solution so simple and so effective that it became invisible. So ordinary that nobody questions it. So reliable that entire generations have lived their whole lives never once getting sick from the thing sitting beneath them. That water in your toilet has been protecting you every single day. You just never knew to say thank you. If that surprised you, give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel for more hidden stories inside the everyday things around you. The world is full of quiet engineering. Most people just never look down.